Work for you?
Your singing is fantastic. Oh my God. For me, it is everything. Everything.
Good morning. Good morning. And no, your camera is not messed up. Lisa has matched my top in color. Her.
Mm-hmm. I was up and dressed long before you. I did have no idea.
Psychologically, driving towards.
That must have been what it was.
Good morning. My name is Brian McNeill.
And I am Lisa Santiago McNeill.
Thank you for joining us on our show. Let's talk about it. We come to each Monday through Friday right here on the SIBN network, on iHeartRadio, YouTube, TuneIn, as well as Facebook Live. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Minister Rosetta Denise Lawson. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning. Please take a moment, if you would, and comment, like, and share. That's right. Share.
This is officially January the 2nd. For a lot of people, it's the first day really of work, because a lot of people take off the first day of the year. But now, and it's a Wednesday too, right in the middle of the week. Good day to get back to work. And my wife chose the topic, new beginnings, and I think it is apropos.
Apropos.
That's right. New beginnings. Let's get it in.
Absolutely. I think that for me, new beginnings are the importance of Sundays. It's the importance of a fresh quarter. It's the importance of a new year. It's the importance of a clean slate, all those things. I think that new beginnings give the opportunity, if you take it, to glean from what you've experienced and give yourself permission to apply that wisdom going forward.
I think you're right. And I think it takes some courage to apply the wisdom that you've gained over time.
Yes, because what happens a lot more often is we belabor the fact that we didn't do it before.
Yeah.
We toil with that. We stay with that. We stay with that.
Should on ourselves. We should on ourselves. That's what I said. Not SHIID. I say should.
Yes.
We should on ourselves. I should have did this and I should have did that. But New Year's, I was listening to, good morning, Damona. How are you? I was listening this morning to CNN.
Happy New Year, Damona.
I gotta go get that because
I can't stand that beeping sound. But it is what it is. I don't know what's wrong with my my thing. It doesn't allow me to share. It's not allowing me to share. Yeah, my phone is not allowing me to share. It is.
Judging by our phone cases. We both use wallet cases. And when the cases get messed up, time to get new phones.
Is that what time it is? So, should. You're not supposed to be shoulding on yourself. It is quite easy to should.
But I was listening to the CNN broadcaster, and I can't remember the blonde lady's name, but she had the responsibility this year at 11:59 to press the ball that started the descent of the Big Apple, of the big ball, okay? And she took it so serious. She goes, she put her, when they said you had the responsibility as early as she could, she put her hands on it, the button that she had to press to start the thing, and she kept her hand on it the whole time waiting because she was afraid if she took her hand off it might move or fall or whatever. But she pressed the ball, and then the new year began, and she said it gave her so much hope. Now this is a seasoned broadcaster. Just that physical act of her doing something that indicates the start of a new year gave her hope. She was talking about this morning. I can get closer if I need to. Happy New Year, Jamona. Thank you very much. Good morning, Carmelita. I enjoyed the conversation I had with your husband on the phone yesterday. We was on the phone 30-something minutes, baby.
Wow, he must be special because Brian don't even give me 30-something minutes on the phone. Huh?
I got you every day. You in the house with me.
Not ever. Carmelita, I hope you checked your email already.
But new beginnings. Some people were puzzled about my announced new beginning yesterday. Good morning, Arthur Lynette. What's up?
Good morning. Good morning. I want to say welcome back to all of you guys. Happy New Year to those that we have not. And
shit, I heard. I'm excited. Good morning, Chrissy McBride. Good morning, y'all. We back to work. We get the gang all together.
Awesome. So yes, we have embarked upon a new, not a new journey, a new leg to our business.
Yes, it's still my company. It's still the same thing. It's still very personal sales coaching, but the focus. We have a new focus.
At the beginning of the joke of the year, every single one.
My neighbor did the same joke. I'll see you next year. They can't help it. It's corny.
Nobody can help it. We love it.
Okay.
Good morning to you. Look, I haven't seen y'all since last year.
I haven't eaten anything all year. Haven't seen you.
It is.
It's going to happen.
And it's funny. And it's funny year after year after year. Even if you go,
Eli,
let the boy sleep.
Anyway, and I'm excited. I got my son with me, my son Eli. We rang in the new year at an amazing worship experience. It was 3 churches that got together to do ringing the year together, and it was really cool. So I enjoyed that.
So before we tell what it is, I want to talk about a couple of things. Okay. That I have been studying as it relates to supporting what we're doing.
Okay.
And how I gleaned information from those things. So one of the stories that I read was about the gold rush and about Sam Brennan and Levi Strauss.
Gold rush now around the turn of the century when people heard that there was gold in them thar hills out in California. So people wanted to rush out to California and become what they called panhandlers. And they would panhandle, and every now and then they'd find a nugget. And finding a nugget of gold got them rich right away.
Well, Sam Brennan actually found some dust. And what he did, he put the gold dust in a little tube and he put it away. And then he already had a store. Okay. He already had like a little general store right next to where all this gold was being found, but it had not yet been publicized.
Okay.
Okay. So he found the gold. He did not immediately go forth like many people after him and before him and go and try to amass monies to buy the land so that he could own all of the gold.
Right.
What he did was he amassed all of the tools for miles and miles around associated with mining gold.
So he had the pickaxes,
all the pickaxes,
and the pans, and the drills, and the shovels.
All of them. Mm-hmm. He had all of them and all the contracts for them. And then
it's impatient. Tell, I'm impatient.
Too bad. And so he bought all of that stuff, and then he was also a publisher. Mm-hmm. He was a minor print publisher. So why do I love it?
Any news, he had to share it.
He got to share it, right? So then he released in the newspaper, along with the picture of the little jar of gold that he had found, that there is gold at this particular location, and all you got to do is come and get it.
That's right.
You got to go mine it. Mm-hmm. Well, they had to get the tools.
That's right.
To mine it. So he became rich, not by mining the gold, which is backbreaking work and not necessarily fruitful on every endeavor, which we know.
Most of the time it wasn't.
Most of the time it was not. Amen. Arthur Lynette says she got her gold already, right? So then it became an environment of gold seeking. Everybody was out there buying his tools, going out and seeking gold. And then this is how Levi Strauss got involved. Now, everybody knows who Levi Strauss is, right? The Levi jeans, right? Mm-hmm. So, hey, Chrissy, thank you for inviting. Thank you for inviting Dexter.
What's up, sis Christy? How you doing? Christy, we got a future working together in some capacity. Maybe you'll learn about it today.
Right.
So,
So I'm sorry. I want you to jump in and tell your pieces and parts that you know about the different stories so that I'm not the only one talking. So tell about Levi Strauss. Do you know where his origin came as it relates to the gold rush?
No, okay. The jeans.
That's right. Well, that is how it relates to the gold rush. Believe it or not, the one thing that happened at the gold rush milling or mining was clothes would wear out. People would spend their time mining and mining and mining, and their pants would break, and then they would buy pants, and then pants became scarce. They actually became scarce because they wore out so much. So Levi Strauss, because he was really, really and used a lot of ingenuity, and incidentally, jeans is the most popular thing he did, but it wasn't the only thing that he did. He went about creating these jeans, these pants that would not wear out. These tough pants that would not wear out, with rivets at the places where jeans most often wore out.
Hammer, and also they had a little loop so they could put the hammers in the pants.
Absolutely. So now these two people became multi-generational millionaires.
Generational, yes.
As a result of the gold rush, but neither of them mined gold.
Right. They didn't do the digging, but they provided the tools.
In
the turn of the century, when kerosene oil was the big money boom. Around the turn of kerosene oil, we lit ourselves through kerosene. We had kerosene lamps. So the companies that
thank you for sharing.
They would dig for oil. And to find an oil mine, gusher, to find one of those, you're fabulously wealthy, but you had to dig a lot of holes. And it was very, very expensive to do that. A lot of stuff to do that. But the richest man of all time was Rockefeller. Compare his money back in his day to now, whereas Bill Gates might have 20 billion in his name, Rockefeller would have had 900 billion by comparison. Okay. But he didn't dig for oil. And he didn't go mine oil. He just refined it. He made them go get it. And he refined it. And then they discovered they had this waste material called gasoline that they was for years just throwing it away because they couldn't think about what to do with it because it burned so easily. But with Ford's invention of the automobile, and Ford needed to find something to run his automobiles that could be sparked and set on fire quick, gasoline became, and then
gasoline became a commodity.
And gasoline, because it was a waste at first. But because of this other invention, it became a commodity. So anyway, now that's a great setup.
Now, even before we transition more, what I hope that you have gleaned from this is that there may already be something that you have, or something that you know, or something that you do already that you can attach to something that is about to expand.
That's a great way of putting it.
You can take the old and make it new. Now,
you can take the old and repurpose it.
Absolutely. Because pants already existed. Pants already existed. Pickaxes already existed. Shovels already existed. All those things already existed. Neither one of them invented them. Neither one of them either put in a whole lot of energy and effort in the backbreaking part of the mining.
That's right.
But what they did was they stuck with what they knew, and they applied it in an area that could advance them generationally through building wealth.
Now, we have taken a few minutes extra in building up what we're going to talk about today, and I appreciate your patience, Lynette.
Absolutely. Actually, I want to add one more thing.
One more thing, too, so go ahead.
So now, Levi Strauss, incidentally, did not rising Dexter. Hey, thank you for joining us. So Levi didn't only become relevant at the gold rush. Right. He was willing to reinvent over and over and over again. And every decade, Levi Strauss and his family were masters of branding.
Yep. They went from the tough jeans to the soft jeans to the flare-legged jeans to the straight-leg jeans. They keep reinventing themselves.
But even more than that, they did it relevant to what was going on, because the very next thing that they did right after the gold rush pants, after those very, very durable pants, all of the people that had moved to California, whether they had become wealthy or not, some of them were still mining for gold. They had brought or created families now.
Mhm.
And those that had not yet become wealthy were now in need of cost-effective clothing that didn't wear out. And one of the great things that Levi marketed was that their pants were tough enough to last through not just one child, but another child and another child, and that their pants were good not just for men, but also for women. And so that they just stayed relevant by listening to what was going on in the media, in the world, and they modified their messaging, not what they were doing, still pants, those were still jeans. They modified their messaging to match the market.
I'm going to let that be the last point of build-up, okay? Because I had a point of build-up too. I was going to tell a story about Gretzky, but that's good enough right there.
That's good enough?
Yeah, that's good enough right there.
We didn't plan or coordinate this at all.
No, Brother Brian was up to like 2-something this morning. And
I finished my study last night before going to bed.
Lisa's studies show herself approved because she's a champion. Good morning, Sister Kelly. How you doing? So let me tell you, I'm a sales coach. I help people to sell themselves.
That's right, Tamara. Hey, Diva!
That's right. Being willing to reinvent yourself. I'm a sales coach. I help people to sell themselves and their services better. I think so many people have amazing services, and a lot of them don't earn the money that they could or should because they don't know how to sell. Mm-hmm. So I've studied most of my adult life on how to sell and how to teach others to sell. Mm-hmm. I started and stopped my company 4 times, but in this iteration right here, I've been going full bore since January 1st of 2010. So this marks the 9th year of very personal sales coaching. Mm-hmm. 9 years. Whoop, whoop. You don't get to hold it for 9 years by being a fool. You have to figure out yourself, okay?
Hey, Diva. What's good, Jules? I missed you.
This past August, I had a client up in the Washington, D.C. area. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, and she reached out to me because she had a delivery service. Now, I focus on helping people with services, and her service picks up medicinal marijuana from dispensaries and takes it to people who can't get out of their house. And you would think that's a great business, right? And it is a great business. But she was having challenges expanding her business, and she also didn't know what to say when people hit her with, or you're just delivering drugs, or you're in the drug business. Mm-hmm. You know, go ahead.
I was going to say, in some states, you can't deliver the drugs.
Well, there's 10 states and DC that you can.
Right. But the ones that you can't, mm-hmm. There was another woman that I read about. That particular time. This is a woman that I read about who actually found out that what she can do as a CNA, she's a CNA, is she can actually pick up her clients and take them to the dispensary, mm-hmm. or she can take their card because she's a CNA and go to the dispensary. So she can actually work around.
Great idea, and there's a bill in mm-hmm. any place you can work around it. Congratulations on 9 years. The race is not to the swift, but those who will endure. Thank you, Sister Chrissy. I'm telling you, you're going to like Chrissy when you meet her, Lisa, because we know we're going to meet her. So she was having trouble. So she hired me to give her some language about what to say, how to verbally defend herself when people say that she was in the drug industry, and I took her through training, and she was very, very happy. She gave me a great testimony about my services, but she intrigued me about the industry. The medicinal marijuana industry is what I was intrigued about. So I started studying the industry, and then I started studying this thing called CBD, which is the oil that's derived from the plant that doesn't get you high. That's very, very low THC, and the THC is the active ingredient. It doesn't get you high, but it has a lot of health benefits. So I started studying this industry, and then hemp, and I studied why hemp isn't legal and all that kind of stuff. And it was really just 5 or 6 rich guys who want to stay rich, so they didn't want hemp taking over their profits. So as I studied this game since August, I studied a lot. Good morning, James. Happy New Year to you and your family.
Happy New Year.
So around August, September, I was studying. October, I was studying it. Not much in November, but in November and December, I studied it a lot. So I am going to skate where the puck is going. I watched all of Dr. Sanjay Gupta's stuff about weed, his specials about weed. I read everything, and I've researched it to the end. And I announced another derivative of my company from very personal sales coaching to what I called CannaBiz selling. CannaBiz selling. CannaBiz selling is for those who are in or want or curious about being in the cannabis, CBD, or hemp industries and how to sell their services within those industries, how to overcome stigmas and how to sell. Last year, my wife and I, we were working together, and I was writing a book, and I'm going to finish it very soon, about how to sell your services in the cannabis industry, you know, dealing with the stigmas and overcoming those objections. So I launched that yesterday, and you're going to start seeing more and more of that. It's still sales coaching, sales training, but in a new focus, in a new arena. Selling is a communicable skill. However, this industry has different emotional ties and prejudices and stigmas associated. So it does take some skill to get around it. Mm-hmm. Okay, I find when that happens on my phone to turn off the auto focus and then turn it back on. Okay, so anyway. So I was super excited about that. I'm also, not only am I going to be helping those in the industry to sell themselves and their services, but I'm also going to be providing very high quality CBD oil and derivatives of it too. So you'll be able to get it through me. I'm going to distribute it myself as well.
To me, is helping those who already have a skill, gift, or talent, and understanding how to take advantage of the wave that is all things cannabis now with their particular skill, gift, and talent.
I am building an amazing site. I have a great builder right now where we're building a site where we can have community through the industry, and people can have a marketplace through the industry, and they can get better sales and business insights. It's going to be a subscription site, and it's awesome. So I'm really, really excited about it. I'm putting a lot of time, energy, and effort into it. I'm working very, very late at night. That's why I got up late this morning, but I worked very late last night. I'm going to keep working late, because one of the things you learn is to achieve levels of success, you got to be willing to give up something. What are you willing to give up to achieve great levels of success? And I'm willing to give up some sleep.
What are you willing to do differently in 2019 to get the results that you are really wanting? So many people go.
Thank you, Dexter. Dexter thinks it's a great industry.
Mm-hmm. Go from year to year.
Not willing to give up and doing the same old thing. JB.
And continuing to do the same thing, continuing to get the same results, and are surprised by
it. Yes. You know what? I've been doing it the same way. I am surprised it's not more successful. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to do some things differently. And I now want to tell what I was about to tell, but your setup was so beautiful, baby. I let it ride. Wayne Gretzky. A lot of people know his name. Even people who don't like hockey still recognize the name Wayne Gretzky. Why? Because he was the greatest in the history of the sport. He has more than 100 records in the sport. He would dominate scoring. He would score over 100 and something points in a season where the next place guy would score 50. Why is he scoring twice as much as anybody else? He was never the biggest. He was never the fastest. He was never the strongest. He was never the best handler. But he knew he could score better than everybody. Why? And late in his career, someone finally got him to confess what it is. He said, most people skate to where the puck is. I skate to where the puck is going. And you learn about something.
Wait, let it breathe.
Let it breathe.
Because that's real right there.
Go ahead. Most people skate to where the puck is. Mm-hmm. He skates to where the puck is going.
Mm-hmm. Somebody needs to get that. Because if you go where it is, first of all, it's crowded there.
Yep. Everybody's there. You got to muscle for that. There's no space.
That's why when I'm working with someone and they're afraid to share what it is that they're doing, and because everybody is going to know about it, listen, they can know what your idea is, but they can't know your vision.
That's why. They can't steal it.
And what he had was vision. He understood that there were only a certain number of possibilities for this puck as a result of who was around it, where it existed, and who was in charge of it at that moment. And because of that, he made some calculated decisions on getting ahead of it.
And looking back on it, it makes so much sense. Okay, the puck is in that corner. Everybody from this side, all the people are behind the puck in that corner. There's only one place the puck can go. It can go around that way. It can't come back that way because there's too many players. So he would go over there. Sure enough, the crowd would crash into the area. The puck would skirt out to where only he is, and he score.
Right. So what is it that you have and that you know and that is necessary for the success of something?
Brother Dexter got some confirmation this morning.
That you need to get ahead of the crowd in order to position yourself to be in the right place.
I have been studying so much, and one of the things I've learned about this industry, the cannabis industry, is anything that you're already doing now that you're good at and people are paying you for is needed in that industry. If you're a great accountant now, they need cannabis accountants. If you're a great massage therapist, they need cannabis massage therapists. If you're a great sales coach, they need sales coaches. Because I looked up sales coaching in the cannabis industry. Guess how many I found? None. Zero that's billing themselves as that. And I did it on Google. Now there's sales coaches, but I didn't see any that attach their name to that industry. And there's only one other book that I found about how to sell in this industry, and it's from some lady in California, and I think she was talking mostly about growers and stuff. Mm-hmm. And by the way, Lisa set you up earlier about Levi Strauss and about the guy who sold Sam Brennan, the guy who sold the pickaxes and the pans. The ancillary business is where I'm in. The ancillary, not growing and selling weed.
Yeah, and understand, I have no intention of growing or selling or having anything. I don't use it. I don't have anything to do with it.
Right, none of that.
But I do know that there are benefits to it that I can help communicate because I'm a publisher.
Oh my gosh. When you watch how kids that go from having 300 seizures a week and how they're racking their frail bodies, and then they get CBD oil in their system and go down to 1 seizure a week. You know, I saw one last night. This kid was having 75 seizures a day. Okay, and they lived in New Jersey, and it's not legal in New Jersey. Only the smoking is legal, but not edibles. And the kids can't smoke. You know, so it doesn't work for them. They needed something that they could put in the food or the child eat. So they had to move to Colorado, where it was legal for edibles. They had to move their whole family there, get new jobs, get a new apartment, everything, to go to Colorado. And eventually it'll be legal everywhere. But it's saving this child's life. Uproot the whole family. Mom, dad, 2 other kids.
Well, what is it about your dream, whether it has to do with this or something totally different? What is it that you are going to dig your heels in and manifest? And incidentally, you are watching Let's Talk About It with
the Empowerment Duo.
And
he's still Lisa Santiago McNeill.
And he's still Brian Keith McNeill. And one of the things that I wanted to raise as a result of that, also one of the things that we're doing in 2019 is we're helping to expand your voice. Starting out or ending out last year, we added a podcasting station to our products and services that we have. And as a result of that, I have been doing a lot of research on podcasting and actually doing a lot more podcasting. All of these episodes are uploaded on podcasts. Use whatever podcast you like. It's the Empowerment Duo channel, or you can go to ESPTV7 channel on Spotify, iHeart, iTunes, and any of those.
You can even get it on
Yes, if you have a Spotify premium. But what I wanted to say was one of the things that I noticed in that community, in the podcasting community, first of all, it's a multi-billion-dollar community that many are missing out on. But not only are we missing out on it, we also don't have much of our voices represented. I have started walking every day, and while I'm walking, I like
to love you back, sis.
We love you back, Sophia. And while I'm walking, I like to listen to a podcast. Mm-hmm. But what I realize is it's very difficult for me to find podcasts with people who I can listen to that sound like me. Mm. There's lots of millennial podcasters, and there's lots of old white male podcasters. Mm-hmm. Have nothing against either one of those.
Middle-aged professional Black women podcasters?
No, and middle-aged professional Black male podcasters are also not necessarily as in attendance as they should be. So one of the things that I am setting forth as a campaign for myself for this year, and I've actually searched, I did some Black Black podcast list from 2018 and all of that. And there's lots and lots and lots of millennials that have taken over podcasting. First of all, that's a tip for you. If the millennials are gravitating towards it, then a lot of times that's where the puck is going. Thank you. That's very true. And there is a gabillion old white men and young white men on podcasts.
It does a lot for them too to have a good regular podcast. First off, you're building your audience. Some of them build organically. You know, people tell you about it. Like our show is built organically, but some of them borrow and pay for and get a bunch of followers right away. But it doesn't matter.
And it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. And that's the benefit of doing it as a network. Because for us, when we bring you on to our podcasting platform, you get the benefit of the cross promotion and cross marketing. Understand that initially my primary objective is to have more of our voices heard. So that means if you're already doing a YouTube channel and you want to have it converted to a podcast, let me know. If you're already doing a Facebook Live and you want it converted to a podcast, let me know. I'm actually offering 1 month free podcasting just so that you can get your stuff out there, so that you can build your audience. It won't be taken off. It'll be up forever. But
Sunfire needs a podcast.
Absolutely.
Just the name, Mama Sunfire.
I could see walking and listening to that. I could see jogging and listening.
You heard what she said? She could see herself doing her morning walk, listening to Mama Sunfire's podcast, and she's offering a month for free.
Absolutely. And podcasts can last anywhere from 1 minute to 60 minutes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Doing business today, Psalm 90 and 12.
That's the kind of friend Sabrina is. Sabrina called us this morning and told us to read Psalms 90 and 12 right away. And we did. And that's how we live our life. We don't waste our days. Okay.
Yeah,
says, I would love to be a team such as you two.
Well, you are a team. And it is true. We are.
Good morning, Phyllis. How you doing?
No, good late morning to you, Miss Phyllis. The show starts at 9 o'clock. We need you to be on.
You don't know what she's started. You don't know what she's doing
because you are very, very important.
But you don't know what she has going on before the show, baby. It could be all she could do to get here at 9:30.
I know.
She could be traveling. You don't know.
I know. So the benefit of the podcast is that
you'll see one today at noon, by the way.
Well, that's the Money Matters.
Money Matters.
Absolutely.
On Wednesdays with Mr. Alvin Curry.
That's okay, Phyllis.
See? He was on the train.
That's right. Money Matters with today at 11:30 and he's at 12 o'clock with Mr. Alvin Curry. And he is just sharing a wealth of information. He has decided to partner with us, a wealth of information as it relates to finance and understanding your economy, your own economy, understanding how to manage your personal economy. One of the things that he's going to talk about today, which I think is awesome, is
income.
And keep your job until you understand how to transition out of it.
Don't rush to
quitting your job. Oh my goodness.
He called us we called him yesterday and
instructed us to call him.
Yeah, he instructed us to call him. But he is always so informative, such a wealth of information. I feel like the show has been so high in content today that we kind of need to summarize. We've got a lot of content.
Yeah,
today. We kind of need to do a summary.
Well, because it's new beginnings
of what we've done so far.
Yeah.
What have we covered so far today?
So we have covered the benefit of understanding that you need to find out how your business connects to the new wave of things that are going on in the world.
Repurposing what you do. Packaging what you do. Sometimes all is necessary to attract to something that's growing, green and growing, an industry that's green and growing instead of ripe and rotting.
It's actually being called the green rush.
Yes.
It's actually being called the green rush, just like the gold rush of whatever year that was. I can't remember, 50s, 40s,
40s.
40s? Okay.
18 something, and around the turn of the century. But go ahead.
So then we talked about getting in front of the puck. The importance.
Lisa gave the story about when the gold rush, Sam Brennan, who sold the axes and the pans and the drills and the shovels, how he became a millionaire, but he didn't dig.
Did no digging.
He didn't dig. And Levi Strauss, how they made the tough jeans to wear out to get to replace the clothes, and he became a multimillionaire. I told a story about Wayne Gretzky skating to where the puck is going instead of where the puck is, all that kind of stuff. I was thankful for noticing.
Count on Sabrina.
She was biting my color, Sabrina. I only got one shirt this color.
I only have one dress this color, and I was dressed first. So yes, we are in uniform. Sophia, get ready for work. But I would love to talk to you about a podcast.
Late last night, we sent each other some messages. She wanted to know some more stuff. She already got stuff. CBD. She's already making the products with CBD oil in it. And I got her.
Dexter said, "When the wrong people leave your life, the right people will appear." What a blessing to know you too. Oh, amen.
Well, that probably has more meaning than he's articulating right there, because that looks like one of those sentences that's
it's got some weight to it.
Yeah, boom. Like you got to stamp your foot when you say this. You almost need to say, "Damn it!" after it. When the wrong people leave your life, the right people will appear. Damn it.
Absolutely. What a blessing. Absolutely. And then after we talked about those things, we did talk about the fact that we have added a leg to our business,
CannaBiz selling,
helping to support those that either desire to or currently are in the cannabis business.
CBD, or hemp business. And there are 3 different products. They're not the same thing.
So helping them to tell their story, write their book, or sell their stuff. And we have a group you can ask to join. It's CannaBiz Selling on Facebook. And you'll be able to promote whatever you've got going on, share thoughts and ideas, and ask questions.
And the amazing website is being built right now by one of our favorite here on this show, Mr. William Brown.
Sophia said, "Yes, I love CBD oil. I have seen it help so many."
And it's almost amazing, baby, how people, you need it too because of your wrists and forearms stuff. Something flares up 2 or 3 times a year. It cures that kind of stuff. Arthritic knees, anxiety, PTSD. It does a lot of things without getting you high. It's not about the high, it's about the health. I'm not afraid of people who are trying to get high anymore, but that's not what I'm doing, okay?
So in addition to that, one of the things that I wanted to...
Sophia's testifying about how it's helped her through severe back problems. Severe.
And you ingest it, right?
Yes,
it's not topical.
But there is topical. There's pain relief, just like Icy Hot. There's CBD pain relief that way too, that you can rub on your skin. But some people just put it in their food or put some drops under their tongue, which is the most common way. Just put a few drops under your tongue. Belinda, our friend that was telling us about it at the gala, she does drops every day, CBD, because she has a lot of anxiety. But she says she's been doing it every day. So that means, she does CBD every day, she told us.
Sublingually is what.
Yeah, that's under your tongue. Sublingual and topical. Okay, using big words.
But imagine then going back to some of the expansion of the empowerment, the ESP TV network and Empowerment Publishing and Multimedia. So we have expanded our channel, the Empowerment Duo, to allow your shows to replay on our broadcast so that it gives you some cross promotion. We've also expanded
Group Economics this year.
Kumba. Are you allowed to say Kumba after Kumba?
I think you say it anytime you want to.
Well, that's my focus for the year because everybody's asking me for one word that will describe my year. It's Kumba. Yeah, it really is. It is. It's group economics.
I like it.
And
I'm gonna have to put it now. Lisa's word is Kumba.
Yeah.
My word is for the year is deliberate. Deliberate. I talked with a guy yesterday on the phone. I mean, these last few days, praise God for this. Okay, first off, I am thankful. But these last 3 days, once or twice a day, I've been getting calls from men.
Sophia.
Who have been very, very encouraging to me and complimentary of me and what they've seen me do over the years. And this seems like it's been coming these last few days more so than any time I can remember. I had a guy yesterday I was talking with on the phone, and he was telling me about his life and what was going on and what he wants to do in his new focus, which is great to talk to me about because that's what I help people.
Sophia gives the CBD oil to her grandchildren and the dog. Is that your grand dog or the dog?
There's a lot of CBD pet products. Yeah, there's a lot of them. But I'm so thankful for this because it's encouraging to me that at least somebody recognizes some of the work I'm doing is good. Good morning, James Sutton. How are you, sir?
Good morning, James Sutton Jr. Thank you for joining. We hope to see you. As a matter of fact, I am going to call you today, because I am going to call you today, James, because we have we've got to get your interview scheduled, and it's been on me. I've just had so much going on.
We'll have him in on a Wednesday. Mm-hmm. So we will bring James Sutton on. We would love to bring Sophia on.
No, it's not James Sutton. James is also producing somebody else, but yes. Of course James can come on whenever he likes. But absolutely,
I want to go back to just Wednesday's guests. Having guests on Wednesdays. That worked out pretty good for a season. I saw you.
I didn't say anything.
Your eyes, baby. I saw you. Granddaughter's infant, grandson, and dog. There's so much opportunity. Skating where the puck is going. That's what we're doing. Today's Wednesday, hump day, middle of the week day. I always have considered, well, not always, most of my adult life, consider Wednesdays evaluation day. Wednesdays is the day you're supposed to ask yourself 2 questions. Okay? These are the 2 questions you're supposed to ask yourself. What am I doing correctly? What am I doing correctly? Or even kind of correctly. It don't even have to be 100% correctly. What am I doing the right way? Ask yourself and answer yourself, what am I doing correctly on Wednesdays, the middle of your work week? And the second question is, if I had it to do over again, which is time, if I had that time to do over again, what would I have done differently? If I had these Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday to do over again, what would I have done differently for this week? Now, these questions here, these are the self-improvement questions. These questions keep you getting better, and even a little bit better, just a little bit better, 0.5% better week to week to week, 1% better from week to week to week. If you get 1% better for 10 weeks in a row, your income goes up by more than 10 times. That's what has been said. But trying to get 1% better in the key areas of your business, it requires some discipline, requires some focus, but ask yourself those 2 questions. What am I doing correctly? And what would I have done differently? Not what are you doing wrong?
That is really, really good to do every week. It's also really, really important to do when you're planning for your year.
What am I doing correctly? And if I had to do over again, what would I have done differently?
Absolutely.
And then actually do those things differently.
Well, actually, sometimes you can't do them differently on your own. Mm-hmm. Sometimes in order to do them differently, you have got to get help. You've got to do research. You have got to invest in yourself. You have got to change something. Sophia says you can CBD oil to any mammal as we all have an endocannabinoid system.
You're right. She's right. I've just learned that. Your body is designed to receive it. You have a system within your body that receives it well. And one more cool thing about the opioid crisis, you all hear about that. Every 19 minutes, someone in this country dies because either a misuse or an overdose of a prescribed medicine. That's an opioid, a prescribed scientific medicine. Every 19 minutes. It's an epidemic in our country. But never has anyone ever died from an overdose of weed or cannabis. Why? Because there's nothing in, even the stuff that gets you high. You can't die from an overdose of that stuff. You can't, because there's nothing in those things, these natural things, that has anything to do with the brain or breathing. So it can't shut down the brain. It can't shut down your breathing, whereas opioids can. So this is the cool things that I'm learning. I'm like a new kid with new information. You can't overdose on that stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And thank you for bringing the knowledge this morning, Sophia.
I'm telling you, she just needs to do a podcast. We need to do a podcast, Sophia. It's just 15 minutes with Mama Sunfire.
When you go around her when she's in her apothecary, because she's gonna have another one. I know it. I'm speaking it. She always impresses me with what she knows. When people ask her questions, I'm always impressed. Yeah,
like Spock.
She's with her stuff the way I am with selling services.
And that's another point. That's another really good point. Sometimes you can be really, really good at what you do, but the things that you don't do, you don't do well. And until we get to the moment when we admit that we need help with the things that we don't do well, we'll continue to miss opportunities to do what we do well.
That's right. That's why you can't do it alone. We need partners. We need help. There are things. That's why I'm so excited to have the people on board with my business already that are there. You know, like you and Bill.
Last year, well, how about this? Sometimes the things that you do, you still need help doing. Last year, I worked with 2 publishers who coached me. I don't need water. Okay. 2 publishers that coached me because there were areas in my business that I needed help shoring up.
And it was so wonderful that they were generous.
As was I. Absolutely, they are. We are a mutually supportive group of people. And what happened was, in one case, one of the publishers had an overload and they needed me to take over some work that they were doing. And in another condition, I was dealing with some contract language.
Yep.
And the other publisher helped me to respond to a contract situation.
Which is champion. To me, that's the best. Sophia President, we have a neurotransmitter system, or a system of receptors whereby our body communicates. Yes, we do. Sophia also, yes, there are lots of things I don't do well. Not just you.
Not just you, all of us.
Not just you.
I'm real good at what I'm real good at.
And I'm not good at what I'm not good at.
I am not good at what I am not good at.
But you know, I'm hard-headed too, because the stuff I'm not good at and stuff, I don't want to do them. Okay? I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it.
And that's another struggle though, because, and I do believe in outsourcing. I do believe that things, that we need to let the people who excel at certain things do those things for us. But I also believe that it's really, really important to understand, at least to a certain degree, the things that we don't understand so that we can understand how to get the right information to them. For example, taxes, right? Yeah. You don't have to do your own taxes, but if you don't understand what your tax preparer needs or what your tax preparer can use in your favor, then you will miss out on the things that if you had given it to them, they could have done something with it. But if you don't give it to them, they don't have it.
And you can learn. You can learn. Mr. Curry does this example. He's done it. I've seen him do it several times about how men, particularly men, they can record stats from sports teams and events from years ago. And it's true. I know the New York Giants was 12-4. I remember when they were 4-12. I know the quarterback from years and years and years because I love that team. Well, if you love your own team, your husband and wife team, your household, whatever that is, you should know some stuff about yourself too and your team too. And you can remember and you can learn. Just like you learn sports stats, you can learn about your own taxes. You can learn about your own personal finance. You can learn how to record stuff, using tools like the cash flow management tool. We're going to talk about those things today. So today at 12, that's what we're going to do Money Matters. Every Wednesday at 12, Money Matters with Mr. Alvin Curry.
And then you can catch the replay on ESPTV7 podcast system or on the Empowerment Duo channel.
President, I'm not good with the details. Going up. Tell me where to go and I will shine. I just know how to get there.
So that is wonderful. And at the same time, it can be paralyzing. That type of person typically needs a team or at least a partner. When you're really good at the showing up and show out, right? But the details and the behind the scenes stuff don't work for you very well. It's really, really good to have a partner, but a partner that you can definitely honor. I had an amazing partner in that capacity when I was in business by myself before I met my husband, who was very good with all the behind the scenes details. And I would be in the front and she would be handling the behind the scenes details. And it's really, really important to find somebody like that to match with you. And now Brian and I do those things together. Now I handle a little bit more of the details than he does, but we both get an opportunity to stand in the front and shine. And it's really important to identify. The first step of overcoming anything is to identify it or admit it.
It's like our sister. I want to say something. I don't think it's going to sound pretty though. It's it's a disease that afflicts a lot of people when they're employees for a long time. You know, when you get accustomed to being an employee. Sophia used to be an entrepreneur. She used to have her own business, and then she went start working for others for a while, and then she went back into entrepreneurial stuff. But some of that thinking of, when you work for someone else, the entrepreneur thinks about. I think the entrepreneur, we think that every dollar has to come from what we produce. Every dollar. I think it's a different thinking. That's all.
I think Thea thinks that way as well. Okay. I think that they're
I just read that right there. It sounded like employee thinking to me.
I don't necessarily think so. I definitely believe Sophia it has a business owner mentality. I think that there are some details that need to be fleshed out and maybe put into a systematic
process. We've been wanting to partner with you forever.
So yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, how many times have we asked to partner with your butt?
We here, baby. We here. I know you hate being an employee, but it's a means to an end. It's a means to an end.
That's another thing I told a guy yesterday on the phone. He was telling me, and this guy's a friend. He says, well, look, man, I'm thinking I'm going to have to go get a job now. And I was like, well, it's okay, but just think of your job as financing your business. Mm-hmm. You're using the job to finance your business, not using the job as just to be the job.
That's right.
And you know what? Just that shift in thinking freed him.
It's an important shift. Our minds are conditioned. We need to recondition our mindset. We have to recondition. That's right. We need a renewing of the mind.
Sophia, you should hate being an employee because that's not who you are.
Yeah, but don't hate it because
I think you should. Okay, you use the job. You use the job instead of the job use you. If you have to go get a job, if you have a job today, do the job. Do the job as good as you can, but use the job. Monies that you get from the job to set yourself up into your own thing. That's my ministry that I'm standing on.
I don't think hate is necessary in that. I think that we need to express gratefulness for the opportunity to fund our dreams.
To fund our dreams.
We need to express gratefulness because when you hate something, that thing is then that is something that you want to that you don't respect and that you want to get away from. And I understand that the goal is to retire that job, to move into entrepreneurship. But that job is still a means to an end. And the word of God says, all work unto the Lord. You're doing this job for someone else's dream. I want you to transition. I want you to completely transition, but we've got to identify the right vehicle that can replace that income so that you can be able to move forward into the success that has predestinated.
Last night, and Sophia, starting today, you don't have to feel like that anymore. I think you got to call Sophia after the show, baby. Chrissy McBride, especially if we want to recondition our economy. That is my hashtag. Hashtag recondition your economy. That's her hashtag. Sophia, talk to Sister Lisa after the show. By the way, I
want to read her comment outside out loud because I don't think she's the only one that has ever felt this way. And Sophia says, I feel so alone in this journey and been doing this alone for 30 years. I know that there are more people than Sophia that feel this way. Some of you even have a partner and you still feel like you're doing it alone. Some of you feel like maybe you're spinning your wheels and how long am I going to keep doing it this way before there's a reward? But every single thing that is worth having is worth working for. I know you could call me when you get off of work and understand that sometimes the aloneness is the moment that is necessary to proceed your breakthrough because the wrong people can't go with you.
Last night service, this lady gave a story about Joseph. It
was about Joseph.
Joseph, and how his brothers got sold and then put him in prison.
Love you, Sophia.
He went sent to prison, and I never realized until till this last night that he was in. I knew he went to prison, but I didn't realize he was in prison for 2 years. He was in prison for 2 years before he got into the palace and became the king.
He didn't become the king, but second to Pharaoh.
Second to Pharaoh, yes.
But yeah, same thing at that time.
I didn't realize he was there for 2 years.
How long did you think he was in there?
I don't know what I thought. I don't know what I thought. But 2 years being put away, and then you still
But he was actually sold into slavery first.
Mm-hmm.
So he was in the process. He was in the process for a long time.
He went from the pit, they threw him in the pit, then they sold him into slavery, and then he ended up in jail for 2 years. That's a lot of journey. That's a lot of dealing with crap. That's a lot of betrayal he had to deal with. Ugh.
Good morning, Uncle Bobby.
Uncle Bobby? Lisa mentioned when you was talking about jobs, you mentioned, as the word says, the one scripture that came to mind, and a lot of people are familiar with it, is Colossians 3:23 and 24. And whatsoever work you do, do it as if working for the Lord and not for man, for you know there will be a reward for this. Mm-hmm. For you know there will be a reward for working as if you're working for the Lord and not working for man. That's one of the things that's easy to forget, and we need to constantly be reminded of. Mm-hmm. Whatever we put our hands to,
do it unto God. Do it to the best of your ability. And going back to
good morning, Audretta.
Going back to
this is the show to watch on replay. It's been very, very good and very high in content.
Going back to Sabrina's scripture this morning, it ties right into that.
My friend Sabrina called us up this morning and says, y'all go to Psalms 90 and 12.
Teach us to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom. That's the NIV version.
But the King James version, I think, hit it a little bit better too. Yeah. I read it through the King James version this morning myself. But, numbering your days, make your days matter. Your days matter is what is basically the scriptures talking about.
So it says, so teach us to number our days that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. There is, great, Audretta, please do give us a call. There is.
We want you to call us, yes.
Wisdom in every experience. And I mean all things are working together for the good. And sometimes the darker the experience, the greater the wisdom that was nestled within it.
Good today, baby.
Thank you, sweetheart.
By the way, Lisa has been walking every morning, and her already sexy legs are even looking even better. I saw it. Ooh, look at my baby walking. Ooh. She's been getting up every morning, going on a walk. Ooh.
Lord Jesus.
The weather's been cooperating too. I appreciate it.
It has, but I've decided that the weather is not going to determine.
So what if it's raining?
And I'll walk in the rain.
You're going to walk in the rain. What if it's snow and ice? You're going to walk in the snow and ice?
Maybe, or I'll go to the gym and walk. I don't like the gym. I don't like inside. I have enjoyed walking. I actually took a moment to.
We do have a gym membership.
She's running.
She's running with her dog.
I got up to a little jog, but not today actually. Not today actually. What I remembered. So the reason why I started walking was because I remembered when I had injured myself really, really bad at the end of my career with IBM, and they wanted to operate on my back. And I was walking with a cane, and I could barely sit or stand. And when they told me that they wanted to operate on my back, I made my way to the gym at this time because it was in the winter. And I got on a treadmill, and it was this slow. 1, 2. That was how slow. And I could barely move. And maybe for 3 whole minutes, it would be like that. But then once my body warmed up, I was able to move faster and faster and faster. And then when I got off of the treadmill, I never had to use my cane until I sat again. So there was something going on in my body that I had to loosen up, probably from all of the sitting that I have been doing with my job, and even with the sitting that we're doing.
We do a lot of sitting now, a lot of typing now.
So I get up and walk, and I may find myself walking a few times a day, actually, because I want my mobility back.
This has been a great show for me. I'm excited about today. If you do have the opportunity to come back and join us at noontime on where can I get the show at noon?
The Empowerment Duo channel.
On the Empowerment Duo channel with Money Matters with Mr. Alvin Curry, a multimillionaire who's super generous and super entertaining with his information. He's going to be talking about more income and how the dangers of leaving your job too soon. It's so funny. We talked about jobs. He's going to talk about the dangers of leaving your job too soon and having more than one stream of income.
And if you'd like to host your podcast on ESPTV7, remember I'm giving it 1 month away for free.
What a bargain.
And we can discuss it. Just give me a call, DM me, inbox me, and let's make it happen because I really want to hear our voices represented on the airwaves.
DM me still sounds funny.
The hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world.
The one who rocks the cradle rules the house.
I am Lisa Santiago McNeill.
I'm Keith McNeill.
And this has been Let's Talk About It on ESPTV7, on the SIVN network, on iHeart, iTunes, and right here on Facebook Live.
Remember that your life is not a scrimmage or a practice game. There's no Martyrs Hall of Fame. Time, the speedster, takes its toll. And for all of us, every day really is the Super Bowl. So God bless you and go forward and live your Super Bowl life today.
And remember that you are blessed by the blessor to be a blessing. Permission to be amazing is granted.
Yes, Chrissy, get in touch with us.
Awesome, Chrissy. I look forward to it.